everybody, and welcome to Electric City Sentai Denzicaster, your weekly look at the wonderful world of Tokusatsu. I'm your host, Mike, and it must be ladies' night. I am once again joined by...
Sam.
And Larissa.
And we have watched episodes 7 and 8 of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon.
Truly come so far.
So, well, we're almost not quite a fifth of the way through the series at this point. It's 50-something episodes. So, first impressions of these couple of episodes, ladies. What did y'all think?
I think these were a little bit weaker than I think some of the ones that have come before.
Weaker than singing your way to the ground.
Okay. That was an unfortunate moment. So, and otherwise, delightful show.
They had to have a cheesy moment, and I'm happy they waited so long to have it. So,
Okay.
for the first 8 episodes, it wasn't episode 1. So,
well, thank goodness for that.
yes, because I don't think this would have lasted if it was episode 1.
Savage.
To give you folks an idea of this pair of episodes, episode 7 basically winds up... I'm probably going to wind up getting these backwards. Episode 7 is the amusement park, right?
No, episode 7 was the red...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the red herring. The tuxedo red herring.
Okay, but that's the amusement park. Mm-hmm. So, episode 7, we think Tuxedo Mask is actually Tortoise Boy, or at least that is what Usagi is led to believe. Mm-hmm. And so they
series of circumstantial evidence.
Yes. So they wind up setting up this big group date, which includes Mamoru, the actual Tuxedo Mask, who is briefly paired up with Usagi, and thanks to Jupiter being the world's greatest wing woman, apparently, winds up going with Mamoru so that I don't remember the turtle kid's Motoki winds up going with Motoki, who runs the front desk at the karaoke club that is their hangout, and winds up with him thinking that he is Tuxedo Mask. By the end of the episode, Tuxedo Mask, Mamoru knows who Sailor Moon really is, but she's
that master of subtlety.
Yes, she transforms in a house of mirrors. So while he's in there too, so imagine that.
But she didn't see him for 2 seconds, so of course he's gone now.
Yes,
he's out of the picture.
All's clear. We also get to see Jadeite slowly become a bit unhinged by the end of this episode, where he is now desperate to defeat the Sailor Soldiers. Carry over into episode 8, and we see him enlisting the help of Zoisite to send his body, teleport his spirit directly to Sailor Moon's location. It's worth noting, Mercury was not in episode 7 at all. Tuxedo Mask is not in episode 8 at all. Mm-hmm. Episode 8, we wind up seeing basically the bond form between Jupiter and Mars, and we basically find out that they're actually just... We figure out that they're actually just angry parents.
Yes.
Yes.
Where Mars is, you have to learn to do this on your own, you have to be strong on your own. Where Jupiter is, no, we're family, we're a team, we should help each other. And we're friends, we're going to help one another. By the end of the episode, this very icy relationship somehow thaws and they become best friends in less than 24 minutes. So, as she more or less, Mars that is, somehow more or less gets kidnapped by her own father, who we never see, for their monthly dinner in order to improve his image as a politician. And Jupiter winds up plotting her escape and getting her out, so that they are just in time to go save Sailor Moon together. So, Sailor Moon, who gets straight up throttled by Jadeite, and kicked in the chest and knocked like 15 or 20 feet. He's going to kill her. So
he's got a lot of rage.
Yeah.
He's in berserker mode.
So what are some things that we liked about this pair of episodes? Stuff that stood out to you is you enjoyed it, it's intriguing, you liked it.
The hiccuping guy. Poor guy.
He was trying so hard. The guys kind of get the short end of the stick, I think, in that episode. Because Motoki gets short end of the stick, because at the end, Usagi doesn't care about him at all. and Turtle Man get destroyed in the stake because no one cared about him at all for the entirety of the episode.
So tell us who Hiccuping Guy is.
So like when they went on the group date at the amusement park, Matoki, the karaoke guy brought two friends. One was Tuxedo Mask. One was another friend who had a turtle backpack, and all he did was hiccup.
He gets really nervous
around
girls.
So
of course he gets pregnant with Ray.
Yeah.
Who's like Frost Queen. So she's just kind of.
But you see her actually trying to help him get over his hiccups.
Yeah.
Which I find to be amusing. And of course he winds up being the host for the monster by the end of the episode.
Yeah.
But he kept hiccuping even while he was the host of the
the
monster.
most ominous hiccuping.
Yes.
Like he's got the intense villain stare and he's still like hiccuping as he walks. Like, aw.
What about you, Larissa? Something you really liked out of these couple episodes?
Something I really liked was a little bit more of the relationship development between the Sailor Senshi. Like seeing them become friends, even though it was quick, but it was still cool to see them reacting together and like actually working together as friends now, and like doing things outside of just beating up bad guys together. I really enjoyed that.
I will say one thing just to get out of the way now because we got a long way to go on this series. It's 50-something episodes. Just assume that the terms Scout, Senshi, and Soldier are all interchangeable because they more or less are.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain that every single one of us here was probably introduced to Sailor Moon in a different way. I would be willing to bet money. How were you introduced to Sailor Moon?
Toonami, when it was still good.
Toonami or Sailor Moon?
Both.
Okay. What about you, Larissa?
No, I'm with her.
Okay, so that was both y'all's introduction was Toonami.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Were they using the good dub by then? Or was it still...
Okay, the thing with Sailor Moon is I had two introductions to Sailor Moon. I had the original one that I watched in Toonami way back in the day when I was young and still in America, and then I had my second introduction is when I got to Germany and started watching it there in German. So my main Sailor Moon push came when I was already watching it in German. So I don't remember a lot about the English dub. Because I remember coming back to it then later, and I watched maybe one episode, and I was like, no! And then never watched it again.
So your actual introduction then, realistically, was more or less in German.
That is correct.
Okay, obviously yours was not.
No.
Okay, so yours was to... Were they calling her Serena?
Yes.
Okay. Was the opening theme in English?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm getting it mixed up with the actual manga itself because I was trying to remember how did they call each other. It's like, was it in the book? Was it on the show?
Yeah. So the long and short, my introduction was the crappy Deke dub that was around when the show first started airing. I say the crappy Deke dub. I don't know if Deke actually did it. I think it was. I think Saban did it, or Saban distributed it, one or the other. But it's where they changed all the names and they re-recorded all the music and all this other stuff and. A lot of people consider that dub to be horrible. At the very least, I consider it loosely entertaining. And I know good and well it could have been worse because Saban's original vision to bring Sailor Moon to the U.S. was to actually do it live action, which most people don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, if he'd have gotten his way, if he had gotten his way, we would have never actually gotten the anime. What we would have gotten is live action scenes when the Scouts were not transformed.
Yes.
Which would have included, I think, Jupiter was going to be black, and Mercury was confined to a wheelchair.
What?
And then when they did transform, they would become a cartoon.
Oh my gosh!
And all of the fight scenes and all that would actually be American animated cartoon stuff. So Sailor Moon actually had long, curly blonde hair instead of the trademark pigtails and buns. They surfed around space on surfboards with parasails.
I'm glad this didn't happen.
Yeah,
holy crap!
We will find the trailer because it exists.
No!
And
spare me!
We'll tell you how that went on a future episode.
Oh my gosh! Just thinking about this is mildly horrifying.
But my introduction was the original dub as it aired on Fox at 6 a.m. And so, unlike Will, who's not here for this, he escaped. He escaped before we started recording this. He didn't escape actually watching the episodes. Check out our live stream video for that.
Good times.
But Will was introduced to it the same way I was, but the only difference is I wasn't there to watch Robotech. I actually watched Sailor Moon, and I think I watched Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, which came on first, and then Sailor Moon just happened to be after it. So that was my introduction. In the original American dub, they were the Sailor Scouts. They were not the Sailor Soldiers or the Sailor Senshi. They were the Sailor Scouts. Soldiers is the correct literal translation, and then Senshi is the Japanese term itself. It's the same thing. So, the only thing
what we're talking about.
Yeah. The only thing I'm not going to do is I'm going to do my best not to call them Serena and Darien instead of Usagi and Mamoru, because that, again, was the American names.
Yeah, makes me a little bit sick inside every time I hear that. It's like, why?
You know, you pretty much know why they picked Serena as a name, right?
But no, actually.
A riff on Serenity.
Oh.
Because her name is Queen Serenity.
I'm done.
So
I'm out.
I think they just wanted to make more sense.
Sure.
Anywho, so
It made sense to me.
what did I like about these 2 episodes? I actually like that the choreography is improving by leaps and bounds.
Oh, the fight choreography is actually
it's something that you don't really get in the anime, and I never read the manga, so I don't know. You don't really get what we would think of as a traditional fight scene in much of Sailor Moon. It's a lot of basically pew-pew lasers and twirls and such. And in this, because it is at its heart actually a tokusatsu show, and it's produced by a studio that is well known for doing Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, you knew it had to happen sooner or later. Coffee wearing off?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Anymore.
Be strong. Be strong.
Sorry.
We're going to get her another cup of coffee here in a second. You knew the choreography was going to happen eventually, so I'm glad that we actually see that growth and improvement, and actually in pretty short order. When you stop to figure, episode 8 means they're probably less than 2 months into taping at that point, and you started with 5 unknowns who had 0 acting experience, and we would assume 0 fight choreography experience on top of that. I don't know if any of them had been gymnasts or dancers or martial artists or any of that beforehand. What's something you didn't like? Something that just made you go, oh, God. I'll start. They made Usagi look a little dumber than usual. To be perfectly honest to me. That was one. I had 2. She transformed in a house of mirrors. Yeah. Assuming that Mamoru was not there. Okay.
Even though she knew he was there.
Well, but she assumed, okay, good, he's not around, and then transforms. You're at an amusement park. What tells you there wasn't anybody else in that house of mirrors? Combine that with, I don't buy into the Ray and Lena are best friend, or Mako.
That was her English name.
Lena's the name in English.
I managed to block that.
Okay, Mako, right?
Yes, Makoto.
I don't buy that. This is why I just keep saying they're transforming. I don't buy that Mars and Jupiter become best friends in 24 minutes. Just it was really quick in the episode. I almost wish the episode ended with them accepting each other. And then you can see the friendship develop in future episodes. But that's me and my sense of slow storytelling. And it's like, you got 52 weeks, folks. You can let it stretch out a minute.
Okay, but I really did like the final scene of that episode where they both go into this thing that neither of them wanted to do for Usagi, and they kind of band together into this experience.
The whole
cosplay contest.
The whole cosplay contest.
Yes.
The QP. Okay.
I really enjoyed that.
And Mars in the cosplay contest is frightening.
Yes.
Frighteningly amazing.
So, what's something you didn't like, Larissa?
In my case, I'm going to have to go the circumstantial evidence leads to wrong assumption trope. I hate that trope.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily directed at the show itself, but just the fact that that idea was used. I don't like that.
Okay, so what circumstantial evidence are we talking about?
The thing where Mamoru, when he's finding a tuxedo mask, he gets one of his tuxedos damaged, so he gives it to his friends to go repair, and Usagi sees him with this damaged tuxedo, and that's what makes her leap to this conclusion that he's tuxedo mask, and then the rest of the episode is her working under this assumption that he's tuxedo mask. Basically, I hate dramatic irony. I hate it when the audience knows something the characters don't. So.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that to a point.
Especially because Mamoru and Usagi is one of my top pairings of all time, and so anything that is not them being together is really irritating to me.
Okay, silly question.
Yes.
If they had not revealed who Tuxedo the fact we already know who it is because this is an adaptation of something.
Mm-hmm.
But if in the confines of this story they had not yet revealed who Tuxedo Mask was, would it be as bad?
Well, probably not. But he's so obviously not Tuxedo Mask because he's way too nice. And Tuxedo Mask, like, out of costume is just not nice to her. That's one of the reasons I love them so much. Is because I love the, like, enemies to friends to like, dating progression. And just, Motoki is a little bit, he's too dorky. Like, out of costume, so.
Something that made you go, ugh.
I wasn't happy with the Zoisite and Jedi where, let me play the piano and your spirit is taken from your body and you can physically beat up Sailor Moon.
That did confuse me.
Yeah.
Because he specifically said something about I'm transporting your spirit, and then suddenly he's doing a lot of corporeal things. So I wasn't sure where that division was.
Yeah, Tokusatsu plays fast and loose with a lot of stuff, but I would agree with you. That's fast and loose even by Tokusatsu standards. You can punch a guy through a wall in the middle of a city, and when he comes out the other side, he's in a rock quarry on the outskirts of town. But, you know, that's even a little bit of a leap for Toku, I think, a little bit. What are we looking forward to going forward? So here's the thing. I know what's coming, so I know what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to watching these two ladies react. That's what I'm looking
Oh,
for.
no. That's never good.
So,
that's ominous, to say the least.
yeah.
I'm just looking forward to more Tuxedo Mask. As you may, if you've seen the previous episodes, then you will know that Tuxedo Mask is my everything. And I love his character. I love that he's an asshole. And so I'm just looking forward. And now he knows who she is. I'm looking forward to more of their reactions, like interactions together. So
How does this actor playing Tuxedo Mask measure up to what you would have in your head with the anime and the manga?
I think he's doing a great job.
Okay.
He's also pretty enough to meet my standards for Tuxedo Mask, which is important.
That's always something I think about, because when you have something that's animated or a comic book or a manga, it's always going to be drawn in whatever the ideal version of that is. So when you wind up with a live action version of it, that has to measure up.
Mm-hmm.
And like you think of, say, Superman, Henry Cavill looks like what you think Superman should look like. Brendan Routh did not. So Nicolas Cage did not. That didn't happen. But
Thank God.
I will say this, though. If you're ever curious, go watch a documentary called Whatever Happened to Superman Lives.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's either called it's The Death of Superman Lives. And it's them talking about that movie because it got so far in production that I think it finally got the plug pulled on it like less than a month before principal photography was supposed to start.
Oh my gosh.
There's videos out there of Nicolas Cage's costume tests.
Oh my gosh.
So,
my God.
And if you want this to sound weird, in the costume, he was actually buyable.
Really?
Yeah, you could have kind of bought that
This
he
is
might
not
be
computing
Superman.
in my head at all.
Yeah. But
oh
anyway,
my gosh.
What are you looking forward to, Sam?
I don't know.
The experience.
Well, it's been getting a little bit more intense. Like the past, when we watched the first episodes 1 through 6, we were able to do running commentary, which y'all don't know because it wasn't live. But these past two, I was involved with the show.
Mm-hmm.
No, not a lot of smart ass comments coming. So.
Well, it's because there's actually we're a little bit past what you get in those first 6 episodes. Those first 6 episodes, it's the trappings might be a little different, but it's basically round up the band, which you remember from the show.
Yep.
So now you're into stuff that now we're actually going to start telling the story.
Yep.
And the story of this, that's not quite the way I remember it from the anime. Like one of the things we talked about, because I had asked you, because I've never read the manga, I had asked you guys, is this whole plot with Rei's parents in the manga? Because I didn't remember it from the anime. We're like, no, her parents, if we recall correctly, her parents are dead
She's being raised by
in the manga, and her grandfather is raising her. We never see her grandfather up to this point. So, little things like that. You can start to see where they're tweaking it for this show, which is always fun. So,
go either way. Sometimes it's super fun when they do that, and sometimes it's like, why?
It was perfect. Why would you mess with it? Come on.
So, folks, we hope you continue to enjoy our delving into Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon as we go through. these episodes will pop up every once in a while here on the network. So, hope you enjoyed this week's show. Of course, please share, like, subscribe, all those things that you do on YouTube. If you have something you'd like us to watch, if you think we need to watch more Sailor Moon, what have you, leave a comment down below for us. We will do just that. If you think we should drag Will onto the actual discussion of one of these, let us know
that will
in
be
the comments below.
All of us.
We will certainly give it an effort. So we hope you
hidden camera.
Yeah, beyond just whatever we did on a live stream. Please jump over to our Cafe Press store. It's cafepress.com/ECS Network. Pick up a cool T-shirt, hat, mug, perhaps. If you wonder how those are, ask the guy that won our contest, Cody, because by now he's got one.
Hopefully.
Unless you left it at home.
Life's weird, okay?
But go over there and check that out. All those proceeds go to help out the channel. I'm just about got the laptop paid off.
Nice.
But we want to get a lighting rig. I've actually done some pricing for that. But we want to get a lighting rig. We would like to get a new camera dedicated just to shoot instead of continuing to use my cell phone. There's a lot of things we'd love to get to improve the production here on the channel.
Get all fancy like.
Just make it nice for you.
Right,
exactly.
We're doing this for you.
Yeah, because it doesn't go in any of our pockets. We all have jobs.
Yeah,
so
sadly.
Right.
So, jump over to our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/Denzicaster. Chat with us over there. Start some discussions. Talk to us. Let us know what you think. And until next time, folks, when we take another trip into the world of Tokusatsu, I'm your host, Mike. We'll see you next time on Denzicaster.
Bye.